We started several projects like awarding to the people that demonstrated good practices in environmental and water preservation, and also youngsters, schools were involved in this Bled Water Festival. Of course, it doesn't go without the support, so co-organizer of this event is Ministry of Environment and Spatial Planning of Slovenia, and we have long-term partners Pivovarna Laško Union, Zlatorog Celje, Petrol and Prevexo, and many other partners and friends which are involved in this project. Several guests were invited, but some of them also couldn't come to us. So first, we would like to help our with the help of our modern technology, allow Ms. Helen Malisiak-Gilcaro to address a few words to you. She is the president of International Commission of the Protection of the Danube River.
Hello, Bled Water Festival. Greetings from Vienna. I've attended the festival twice in the past, and I wish I could be here with you at the beautiful Lake Bled today again. My name is Helen Maslia-Gilkarov, and I am the technical expert for public participation and communication here at the International Commission for the Protection of the Danube River, the ICPDR. Active for 20 years now, we are an international organization comprising 14 countries plus the European Union. From our base here in Vienna, in the Vienna International Center, we focus on the coordination and management of the waters of the Danube River Basin, a vast area of 19 countries. That means we work on natural conservation projects that cross multiple borders. That means we work on scientific research and surveying schemes for an area of 800,000 square kilometers. And in my case, as a public participation expert, it means communicating with the 80 million citizens of the world's most international river basin. In short, we promote a secure and sustainable river Danube along with all its tributaries, plus a healthy habitat for the wildlife of the basin and clean water for all its citizens. So sustainability is definitely the key word for us here at the ICPDR, just like you at the Bled Water Festival. Combating climate change, preserving the precious waters of the Danube, and building a future for this river basin, which we can rely on, lies right at the heart of everything that we do.
Now I would like to invite the Mayor of Municipality Bled, Mr. Janez Pfeiffer, to address a few words to the audience.
Dobar dan in dobrodošli. Nice day and welcome to Bled, especially the guests who came from more distant places. I even hear from South Africa and Korea. Very warm welcome to you, to a country where we don't basically on the first sight have a lot of water problems. Sometimes I have a feeling we make them up when I travel to countries where water is much more an issue. But that does not mean that we should not be aware of the importance of this main liquid thing we know. And it's rather fragile. And how to manage it sustainably, it is a great question also for the local communities, local authorities. And only working together with people and listening to them, even if their ideas are sometimes not so scientific. It's worth it at the end. I can give you an example. We are asking for years to enlarge the protected area where we get our drinking water. We didn't have an answer. And now it's a civil initiative, they answer immediately. So sometimes you never know anymore, but it's how it works. I think it works pretty much the same in other countries. But under the line, the important thing is it moves on, and awareness of water, especially here in Bled, having our lake. Bled would be never so important if we wouldn't have it. And being aware that we are, even if we are so far, so close to Mediterranean, and very far from the Black Sea, we are a part of the Danube system. And that whatever we being so lucky here in the mountains to get the first water out, that it is a great responsibility on our municipality and our communities here too, not only to enjoy it, but also to send it on the way the others can use it. And this you can be quite sure that we shall do our best. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks to organizers. And please feel welcome back. I wish you a successful meeting and also a lot of networking, because as we all know in life, it's much more important, not what you know, but whom you know. So I hope it will work out here too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pfeiffer. Yeah, Bled is a tourist place, so we make publicity like a good culinary, good wine, good beer. You saw when I said our partners, our main sponsors are two biggest Slovenian breweries. What people would say, why breweries? Actually, we have any different taste of beer with chili, with chocolate, with whatever, but all these beers have one thing in common, and that's water. So that's why breweries also have a big interest on water. And now we will go to actually the active part of our opening ceremony. We will present you a few good examples of how to deal with water. And we have the first good practice, which was 2 years ago here awarded, and their effort was recognized by Bled Water Festival. So I would like to invite Miss Marina Grčić from public institution Aquatika Freshwater Aquarium Karlovac to present the jobs and the successes that they succeed in last time.
Thank you. Hello to everybody. Thanks to organizers to invite me. And I'm really honored to be here with you and share the part of the opening session. I'm also keen to hear all the discussions and good practices that will be presented in those 2 days. So my task today is to explain how are freshwater fish, children, and UNESCO label connected. It's a story. It's a story about a public institution, Aquatika, Freshwater Aquarium in Karlovac. Please, next. Okay. It's the only freshwater aquarium in Croatia and I think in the broader region. And usually at that point some questions pop up in the audience. Why freshwater aquarium? It is not so attractive as a seawater aquarium. Where and how did you fund it? So here are some answers to those questions. Croatia is one of the European countries with a great abundance of fresh water and also freshwater life, with a great biodiversity in freshwater life. And Karlovac is mostly known as a city on 4 rivers, so it's a suitable place for such tourist attraction. And also we were using opportunities of European Development Fund for European Fund for Regional Development as a support to build our aquarium. Our main idea was to build a tourist attraction, but using biodiversity of our rivers as a main resource of the attraction. So it's located on the riverbank of Korana, as you know, a river that starts from the National Park Plitvice. And here are some informations about the European projects. It was from the perspective 2007-2013, and it was one of the first 7 contracts that were in Croatia for European funds. It lasted just 2 years, and the whole facility and the fish and everything was built just in 1 year, and you can just imagine the stress of the whole project team, those who are part of the European projects. So our vision was to be a unique tourist attraction based on the natural resources, mainly on the freshwater life, and how to achieve that vision by, I should stress, networking, also preservation, education, science, and tourism is just one part of the whole story. You can't have a sustainable tourism if you don't pay attention to all those things. And our exhibition is a typical karst river from source to mouth, also to partly under the ground. Just a few numbers about Aquatika, freshwater aquarium. We have more than 100 different species from Croatian rivers. 40 of them are endemic species, and there are more than 1 ton of the fresh fish in our aquarium. And results of the whole project are until today, so 2.5 years after the opening, we have we had more than 200,000 visitors. So people are more than interested in a freshwater aquarium and freshwater life, because usually it's not so opened to people or to school children. And we have 13 employees, 9 awards, and among them I really should say that some of them are national or international, some are for innovative architecture, energy efficiency, European project funds, and also maybe one of our close to our hearts is 2017 Bled Water Festival Award in a part of national awards, because that award really brought up our perspective. From that point, we were not just freshwater aquarium. We were more open to protection water, not just rivers. And at the end of my presentation, you will see how that award led to UNESCO. So not just tourism, we really have education, exhibitions, environment, and a lot more, and just a few sceneries from our aquarium. And I hope and invite you to visit it. It's just 2.5 hours driving from Bled. Those who visited Karlovac and our river Korana know that we have a beautiful beach, river beach, close to the aquarium. And aquariums are full of fish, and we really like to present them to our visitors. No, it's not the end. We have just a few. There are just a few more slides. So it's a karst river. We represent the whole biodiversity around the river, and just a few more. And at the end, as I said at the beginning, our award from Bled Water Festival give us opportunity to apply and to have to say a lot of for global network of water museums, and since the beginning of June we have a label of UNESCO as a part of International Hydrological Program. And at the end I would like to share a few words from famous Leonardo da Vinci. Water is the driver of nature, so pay attention about it. Thank you very much for your attention, and hopefully we will share those beautiful 2 days. They will be, I'm sure, very fruitful and successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marina Grčić, for presenting your company. And now I would like to invite Ms. Katarina Trstenjak, Communication Officer, Fish Forward, and she will present the good practice from World Wildlife Foundation, Adria.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much again for inviting me. I will continue with the fish topic, but I will move us a little bit towards the ocean. So for a long time, our oceans were seen as like limitless sources of different natural resources, and of course this counts for fish as well. But if we look a bit underneath the ocean, we see that like 31% of the world fish stock in the world ocean is overfished. And around like 60% basically it's caught up to the maximum level. And also, if we have a look at Mediterranean, which is a bit closer to us in the region where we live, the situation is even worse. The figure shows that around 90% of fish stocks are overfished. So if we move then back towards the European Union, European Union is actually the largest market of fish for fish trading. And also we are not self-sufficient, and which is also a fact that European Union on the level imports 60% of fish. So that means we depend on the fish from elsewhere, and most of this fish is coming from developing countries, over like 50% of them. And also, if I just say like a brief numbers about Slovenia and how Slovenia is doing, actually it was around, I think, 12th of February when we celebrated the day when we ate all of our fish that was actually available, either from aquaculture or also from that was caught at the ocean or at our Adriatic. So this actually means that also we as consumers are really dependent on the fish that is coming from other countries, and it's important. And also that is why WWF Adria, it's also a part of a project, it's called Fish Forward. It started already in 2015, and now it's continuing until 2020. The main focus of the project is actually to support, or let's say it's more about communicating for people to start choosing the sustainable fish products. So what we're doing a lot of campaigning, and also we're also starting to work with the retailers. Here you can see it's like 17 countries is involved in this project, Fish Forward, and the leaders are from Austria, which is a bit funny because they don't have the sea. So this actually means that, but they are, since they don't have the sea, they are dependent on the fish that comes from other places. So what I can also say just briefly, what is about good practices, we also started recently working with Bolton, you know it probably by the name in Slovenia, Frio Mare. And actually we are kind of collaborating with them, and they said that until 2024, all of the fish that they are using in their products will actually come from sustainable fishing. So this is all from my side for now, and I will also like to show you a small video because, as I said, we are focusing more about also the livelihoods in developing country and how also our decisions actually have an impact on the people living elsewhere, because actually 800 million people are depending on fish. So actually it's also up on us as a consumer. We can make a difference in these developing countries by actually choosing sustainable fishing products. So thank you.
Ako si Nonoy. May kurin dati ang dagat. Pero ngayon, may nakatirang masamang nilalang doon. Nilalang na gusto kami saktan. Isang monster. Hindi mo nakikita, pero nararamdaman natin ito. Nagtatago sa dilim, naghahandang sumugod. Naglilibot sa tubig ng parang malaking walu-walo. At kinakain nito ang lahat ng isda. Kaya wala nang natitira sa amin. Hindi pinag-uusapan ni nanay at tatay, pero alam ko natatakot sila Tatalunin ko ito. Promise. Mabangis na monster! Tama na ang pagkuha ng isda namin. Lalabanan kita. Tataboy kita. Kung nasan ka man, hahanapin kita. Nakikita mo ako? Di ako natatakot sa'yo. Pagkat gaano ka man kalaki, gaano ka man kasakit at kasama, tahanan namin ito na hindi namin hahayaan na sirain mo.
Thanks to Ms. Katarina Trstenjak and of course to the World Wildlife Foundation to put a lot of effort to protect the nature and to make us aware that not every fish is a really good fish, and it must be kept on a sustainable way. So the next presenter is Mr. Nejc Leskovar, owner of the company Tishler.
Hello. First of all, big thank you to the organizers for letting us be a part of this event. My name is Nejc Leskovar, and I'm the founder of Tishler Eyewear Company. We produce handmade wooden eyewear and are headquartered here in Bled. The eyewear market is a very specific market, as there is a very good chance that if you bought a frame at your local optician, that you bought it from one of these two companies. They own the majority of the eyewear market and the brands that are sold on the market today. The eyewear market is around $150 billion a year. There's roughly 1 billion glasses produced in the world yearly, and most of it is still made out of unsustainable materials, which are plastic, aluminum, horn, and steel. The most popular one this age is cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate is one of the most widely used materials for the eyewear market industry, and it's gotten its popularity because it has very good technical properties, and it has also hypoallergenic properties. But the truth is that the companies are using this material for what I call greenwashing, which is actually brainwashing of the modern consumer in order to sell him a product that is not eco-friendly. Because how they produce cotton acetate is that they grind up cellulose, wood pulp, and cotton pulp, and then they mix it with acetic acid and acetic anhydride and sulfuric acid to extract the cellulose from the base material. But with this process, you have to eliminate it from the mixture, which uses vast amounts of water. Around 750,000 water is used to produce 1 ton of cotton acetate. So after some research I did on all the materials that are used, I actually found out that the most eco-friendly material is actually uses the most water when it's produced. So basically, our eyewear, wooden eyewear, uses very little water. We said here 1 liter, but that's with the water I drink when I'm making the glasses. So I think that in the last couple of years, the wooden eyewear market has been faced with a lot of supply from China, which is making things very hard for us, which are producing good eyewear, because the eyewear that comes from China is poor quality, and it brings skepticism to the consumer and to the reseller. So we came up with a production process that enables us that the glasses are substitutable for the glasses of any other material. And our glasses are durable because they're multi-layered, they're low weight. You can refurbish them because wood, if you break it, you can glue it back together, sand it, and it's actually the same as it was before. That's why we give 3 years warranty on our glasses. They're all prescription friendly, hypoallergenic, customizable, and last but not least, they're sustainable. And so the next time when you're buying a new piece of eyewear, make sure it's not the best eyewear in the world, but it's the best eyewear for the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and you could already see outside Tishler is presented, and you can also maybe buy a new pair of glasses for you and contribute to protect the water from pollution in the production of eyewear. And now young people are also aware that these efforts that we do here are important for their lives, so they want to be involved in the projects and in the policy, and this resulted in the establishing of Youth Water Community Central and Eastern Europe. So please, Mr. Žiga Ščukovt to come on the stage.
Hello. Let me first thank you for that I can be here and present youth voices in the water sector. So like moderator said, I'm Žiga Ščukovt. I'm currently finishing master degree at University of Ljubljana, environmental studies. And also I have some experience in water sector. I was a few months in the private water sector, and now I'm working at Slovenian Environmental Agency. Beside this, I'm current president of Youth Water Community Central and East Europe, and that's the main reason I'm here, actually. So let me represent our community. We are youth who are enthusiasts in the water sector, and we name ourselves Youth Water Community Central East Europe. That's because we are from 14 different countries in Central Eastern Europe, working on the problems of in the water field. So I will go strictly on our previous projects that we have in not even 2 years of our existence. First project, it was Fish Me Ish Me. It was based in Albania, and it was about awareness of the plastic pollution, that it's not good. So what we did, we came with a project proposal to the University of Tirana in Albania. We gain the participants from 3 different faculties there. We establish a workshop. We promote, and with these workshops, how they can approach the local people and present them that for the nature and for themselves, the plastic pollution in the river is bad. So the conclusion of the project was quite good, because they went on 3 different field trips to organize some awareness, and they gain a lot of attention from the local people, and they also give us a feedback that it was quite good, and also the older people from the community, they told that there is a quite big problem, because fishes are not going more than 100 meters upstream from the seas. It's not strictly connected with the plastic pollution, but awareness is one of the main things that you need to act something about this. Second project, it was Youth Voices, Policy Choices. It was based with our partners, and it's actually more or less about the youth involvement and in decision making. So we want to raise our voices in the decision making, at least in the part that it will be those decision makings that are affecting our tomorrow. I'm speaking as a youth. With this project, we went to COP24 this year in Katowice, and it was also quite good taken from the decision makers. The last but not least thing is that we connect with European Youth Parliament for Water and World Youth Parliament for Water. We have a social media campaign. We filmed a short film, and also, again, it was advocacy campaign on social media, attacking, or let's say, the rivers in the European Union and European place. So we came across that the directives are pointing to the cleaning of the rivers, but we saw that in last few years they are just directives. None of this is happening to present them. So, and the last thing that I want to say, we are cooperating with Global Water Partnership, and we will be this year's summer school like one of the cooperators. That would be from my side all. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Žiga. And our last presenter on this opening session of Bled Water Festival will be Urša Zgojznik, President of Ecologists Without Borders.
Thank you. I'm coming from Slovenian NGO, Ecologists Without Borders in translation. We are also a national coordinator for zero waste. And of course, I also welcome you here in Bled, because Bled is one of Slovenian zero waste municipality. Our field of working is waste, mostly on prevention, reduction, and raising awareness. But I want to share quickly with you a possible line for a new development project. We, as Ecologists Without Borders, organized 3 big cleanups. The most successful was in 2012 with 14% of population. And in the last year, we organized the 3rd cleanup, which was one of the world cleanups, and because of the first time in the world was organized in one day in 1,060 countries around the world. But because our country, Slovenia, is quite clean, we decided to focus, besides illegal dump sites and littering, also on waste along rivers. So we developed okay, our last cleanup. We developed a methodology for examination or research what kind of waste and volume of waste are along rivers, and also possible reasons for them. We defined a few specific and possible crucial rivers, areas where we can list all these dump sites and also see what's happening there. The most important areas was those where is drinking water. We found out that the most numerous waste is plastic, so plastic pieces, as also international researchers find out. And the second problem was construction waste, so plastic, around 55%. But the most important thing for today is that all these activists projects are possible starting points for new development projects. And that's why I'm glad to be here and to cooperate with TERIS, which is a network of regional development agencies and experts. I think this is the most important thing because activists, we have energy, but the things are very important to be done also in future as a new development strategies for the whole countries. So I'm glad, and I think there will be a lot of important projects in the future in Slovenia and also in our white region. So thank you.